so I had to pull out my
you.
sword and... I'm sorry, give me a second, man. I'm literally on the phone right now. Why are you interrupting me? I could literally kill you right now.
Please let me go. I didn't even do anything wrong. I literally just saw Frat give birth. And I don't know how long I can hold in my pee. Please.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut you off right there. I'm afraid I'm not allowed to do that. Everyone seems to be disgusted by your existence, so, back to what I was saying. So, I was literally telling this guy, bro, stop crying, and he wouldn't cry, so I had to chop his freaking head off. And that's what happened. That guy was kind of funny though, I kind of wish I didn't kill him. He crapped his pants, man, I was embarrassed for him, really. You should be stationed here, bro, they're so lax here. Literally, no one pays attention to literally anything here, so, and they pay really well, so you should just get stationed over here, man.
Okay, I think we're safe here. I'm just gonna place this right here. And okay. Hello everybody! In this video we're gonna be talking about my hijab journey. And in case you don't know what a hijab is, allow me to explain. This comes from an article that my sister wrote, actually. In contrast to the customs of Judaism and Christianity, veiling is practiced by Muslim women within both sects of Islam, Sunni and Shia, and is most commonly referred to as the hijab. While the term is colloquially used in reference to the headscarf worn by practicing Muslim women, the term hijab transcends the mere headscarf and delineates a broader dress code and code of conduct incumbent upon both men and women. It encompasses avoiding behaviors that may be considered immodest or indecent, such as inappropriate speech, physical contact, or public displays of affection. The most visible aspect of hijab being the headscarf, known as the khimar in Arabic. By the way, did you catch that? Women and men. Let's see more men talk about their hijab journey, huh? Time to see you cover up, bro. Cover those knees. Cover that face. Grow some hair. In order to fully understand what it's like to wear hijab in a Western country, America, let's talk about my personal experience in my hijab journey. Wait, did you hear that? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. So, I didn't wear it growing up, throughout my childhood. So I was living my life on easy mode, on white mode, and people didn't perceive me as not white because I'm so darn racially ambiguous until I wore the hijab. Because once you put on the hijab, you are not perceived as white anymore. The only time people noticed that I was different from them was when I would express my culture. Like one time in elementary school, I wore henna on my nails. This freaking little gremlin, nobody liked him. I'm sorry, but nobody liked him. And I was in line and he was looking at my nails and he was like,
"Why do you got blood on your nails?"
What the heck is that?
"This isn't blood, this is henna."
"Oh, well, it looks like blood though."
And I wanted to cry in that moment, but you know what I should have done? Computer, activate trapdoor. Anyways, and that was just an example of just regular cultural ignorance. And pure example of Islamophobia was in elementary school. My classmates would constantly badger me with these stupid freaking questions like,
"Oh, what kind of god doesn't allow you to eat pig?"
And listen, I'm all for asking questions when you want to understand or learn about something. He was just plain picking on me because this guy was a multi-offender, by the way. And in another time, I was hungry and someone gave me a corn dog and I took a bite and everybody started giggling. And I was so confused. They were all like,
"Oh my god, bro, that has freaking pig in it, you just ate a pig."
I don't think you understand just how much Muslims and I think Jews also hate pig. It is ingrained into your childhood, into when you were in the freaking womb, how pigs are the dirtiest creature on earth. It's like touching poop. So just imagine how horrified I was looking down at this corn dog, feeling like I just ate poop. You might think oh, that's not such a big deal. It's just pork, it's edible. People eat it all the time. But as a child, it felt like the world was crumbling around me. My mom got a parasite from eating pork. It was just traumatizing to also feel like everybody is ostracizing you and discriminating against you and picking on you for something that is just part of who you are. It was really messed up. I freaking hate elementary school freaking kids. They're so mean. Now that we got the bigotry out of the way, let's talk about one of my first real attempts at wearing the hijab. Yes! Where the hell am I? I asked the squirrel for directions, but now I'm lost and I have a squirrel bite on my hand. So, My parents never forced me to wear it, although my mom did wear it when I was a child. I've just always wanted to wear the hijab. And one of my first real attempts was in middle school. And I'm sure you know how middle school is. The time when you're the most anxious and care way too much about what other people think. That is the worst time to be different than your peers. So on the day of, it was a chilly 8 o'clock morning. And as I was staring blankly into my mom's bucket of old withered hijabs, a thought crossed my mind.
Oh,
What if I just
wear the hijab today.
And that was literally it. I put no thought behind wearing it that day. No mental preparation, no nothing. So I just showed up to my pre-algebra class wearing the hijab, and my classmates genuinely did not recognize me at first. Someone even asked me why I was wearing it, and I didn't have a real answer because I didn't want to say it was because I was cold. And slowly but surely, my anxiety took over the following days I wore it. I thought everybody was looking at me, even though I wasn't even looking up. And because of my insecurities and anxiety, I inevitably stopped after like 3 days. Oh, how did I not see that before? And after that attempt, I was still thinking about when I would wear the hijab and when I could express myself in my religion without feeling anxious all the time. And as time went by, there was loads and loads more of hijabi representation than when I was in middle school. And I became inspired by the way they styled their hijab, the flowiness, the sparkliness, the cuteness, the coolness, and the creativity. It didn't have to just be like plain or, plain is okay, but when you can embrace your identity and still express your personality, that is when you can truly feel like yourself and build confidence in who you are. But moving on, I started developing a modest closet, and I basically covered everything except my hair. And by the time my sophomore year rolled around, I didn't have a lot of friends. I was a little bit of a loner. I didn't travel in a pack, but that actually worked in my favor because unlike in middle school, I didn't have as many people to care about and consider how they might change their opinion of me if I just started wearing what I wanted. And I knew that I was mentally strong enough to start wearing it, so I became an undercover part-time hijabi. I just wore it to H-Mart sometimes, but it actually did build up my courage. So that's a little bit of a life hack for anyone wanting to wear hijab.
Eventually,
I wore it to school and it was awesome. No hiccups, no anxiety, eradicated. I mean, I do have anxiety maybe sometimes, but that's more like if I'm just around too many white people or, I feel the Republican energy in the air. You know what I mean? But anyways, let me tell you, my swag game went through the mother flipping roof. My everyday fit before I started wearing hijab consisted of a navy blue super dry sweatshirt, jeans, Converse, and Bang & Olufsen headphones, which is okay, I guess, but when I started wearing hijab, I knew I couldn't rep my gang dressing like a bum, so I can inspire other Muslim girls. And honestly, it's been, alhamdulillah, pretty smooth sailing since, except for a few microaggressions here and there, but let me know if you want a video about all those. It genuinely feels so liberating, and I feel way more like myself in hijab. And I'm sure this story is applicable to literally anybody who wants to express themselves. But alas, night has fallen, and I'm in danger because there's murderous fairies in this forest. So, not the nice ones, the murderous ones, because I literally just escaped from an Alcatraz. I don't know what to tell you. And looks like I'm gonna be camping out for tonight until I reach solace. So comment down below your guys' favorite timestamp and make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!